There are some things that they really don't tell you on what it's like to play overseas basketball. Like, yeah, you may have this perception that you can go overseas and make six figures right off the bat, and there are some instances where that's possible, but 99.99% of the time, that is far from the truth. And there are a lot of great things that can happen from you playing overseas basketball, but you may not think about the left side or the negative side of things that happen and things that you miss out on. So I'm gonna give y'all my breakdown on what they really don't tell you, what it's like to play overseas basketball.
Previously on Ready to Die.
Charleston Chew, an underrated candy bar. This is a Charleston classic, Towson against Xavier. Juwan Gray from Towson.
Over 100%. For what? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's the real Juan here. And if you're not used to who I am, it's your first time tapping into one of my videos, let me give you a quick introduction. My name is Juwan. I'm a second-year professional playing basketball overseas. Last year, in my rookie season, I was playing basketball in the beautiful country of Sweden. And now, for year two, I am in the country of Romania in Eastern Europe, and I am having an amazing time out here. You know, in the way how I'm gonna structure this video, like at the beginning, I'm gonna give y'all the real, I'm gonna give y'all the ill, a lot of the negative things that people may not know about playing overseas basketball. And then at the end of the video, that's when I'm gonna clean it up and give y'all the positivity on what it's like playing pro basketball overseas, because there's a lot of great things that you can get out of this profession. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the real right now. One of the negatives about pursuing a career and playing professional basketball overseas is that you have to climb the ladder. You know, but for a lot of the players who play overseas, a lot of the average hoopers, you have to climb the ladder. By average hoopers, I mean the players who weren't really a high profile name coming out of high school or coming out of college. For me, I'm an average hooper coming out of high school and coming out of college. I played my college basketball at Towson University, and I actually just looked up my stats right now for my senior season. At the end of my senior season, I averaged 6.6 points and 4.3 rebounds a game. Y'all heard my stats. Y'all didn't really stat very well, but I was trying to figure out where my next move was. I knew the NBA was not going to be in reach, at least at the current moment, and now I had to start thinking about what I wanted to do with my career, because I didn't want to stop playing basketball, so overseas was an option. There's a lot of cases like this. I ended up signing with the agent, and the agent that I'm with, they placed me in the Swedish basketball league. Fresh out of college, I'm playing in my rookie season in Sweden, and I was making little to no money at all. Like, I signed a contract where I was making $1,500 a month, which is not a lot of money at all. Like, I could have stayed at home and made that money and even more in a month at home. You know, I decided to better myself, continue pursuing my career playing basketball. I had to prove myself that I can play basketball in Europe. And that's exactly what I did. Like, I had a decent rookie season, and that ultimately led me to where I'm at today, which is playing in Romania. And I'm grateful to be in a position financially where I wasn't at last year. So now I'm climbing the ladder. In Europe, there's a lot of different levels where you can play. This is the rankings of the basketball levels. So first, obviously, we have the NBA. Then there's EuroLeague, Euro Cup, Spain, ACB, VTB. You know, these are different leagues amongst Europe. Then you have the Champions League, France Pro A. And then below that, there's a lot of different countries and different levels of basketball, which I'm not going to go through in depth. But there's so many different leagues to basketball. And where I started is number 4. And you can see that the Sweden SBL is actually in that category. And also you see that Romania is in that category as well. Year after year, my goal is to constantly work my way up the ladder and get to where I know I can get to. The second negative about playing overseas basketball is that you're gonna miss so many events that you wouldn't miss if you were living back in the States. So right now, as I'm recording this video, it is currently Thanksgiving Day, and I am halfway across the world away from my family. You know, there's so many events that I've missed within this 3.5 to 4 month span of me being out here in Romania pursuing my career. Like, I've missed baby showers, I'm missing the holiday season. Like I just told y'all, it's Thanksgiving right now and I'm away from my family. I'm gonna miss Christmas, I'm gonna miss birthdays, I'm gonna miss weddings that I was invited to. Like, you know, so all of these events you have to take into consideration, like when you sign that contract and commit to playing away from your family. And along with missing these events, you're gonna have to realize that you're gonna be literally by yourself 24/7, especially if you don't have a spouse or a partner. So I'm gonna give y'all just a quick visualization of what it can be like, you know, being out here by yourself. You know, you wake up in the morning and you're by yourself. You probably have to go to practice in the morning, maybe for like weights or shooting practice. You come home, most of the time your family probably still isn't up around this time, because I know for me, I'm 7 hours ahead. Probably on average, most teams, I would say they train or practice for about 4 to 6 hours a day. There's 24 hours in a day. So I would say the remaining 18 hours roughly during the day, you're by yourself. And that is a lot of time, especially when your entire life is in a different part of the world. You're gonna constantly be lonely. There's only so much PlayStation or Xbox you can play that will keep you satisfied during this time. Like, and it can be really rough for somebody who isn't used to being alone, or if they have a family. You know, there's some instances where people sign 10-month contracts or yearly contracts. That's a long time being away from your family. And we're not even counting the other factors, like if you get sick, like you're gonna have to be by yourself, like prepare your meals by yourself. Like nobody's gonna really be able to take care of you. So yeah, you're really gonna have to become comfortable with being alone. And I highly recommend to have a routine for your day, because if you don't have a routine, then you're gonna drive yourself insane. Another reality that you're gonna face if you play overseas basketball is that there's going to be a lot of pressure on your shoulders to win games, and also to stat well to prepare yourself for next season. Winning cures all evils. Like, that's something that I say, and it's extremely important for your career and as well as your club. Winning attracts sponsors. The more sponsors you have, the more money your club will have, because these sponsors donate money to the club, and the more money your club has, the more money that you could potentially get paid. With that being said, there's a lot of pressure to win, because if you don't win, I know right now for my league, there's 18 teams in the Romanian basketball league right now, and there are 4 teams that are going to get regulated down at the end of the season. And by regulated, I mean they're going to drop from the first division to the second division. And teams don't want that to happen, so winning is going to be extremely important. And if you're in a situation where you're not winning, the upper management is going to put a lot of pressure on the GM for the coaches, and the coaches, they're going to express their frustrations on the players, pressuring you to play well. That's a lot of pressure, because if you don't play well and do your job at a high level to help the club win games, they have every right to cut you and find somebody else. That's just for like the team aspect. And also individually, there's like a thin line that you have to play between being selfless and being selfish. And by being selfless, I mean that's you have to do whatever it takes for your team to win. So if you're a scorer, you have to score the ball and win the game at a high level. And if your strength is rebounding, you have to rebound at an extremely high level and do what it takes to help your team win games. If you play defense, be a great defender to win games. Yeah, you need to get yours. You need to get your points, rebounds, assists, make sure your stats are looking good. And you're also going to need to win games. Because if you do both, if you stat well and you're winning games, you're going to move up the ladder in no time. And this next point I'm going to tell y'all kind of ties into the last point of there's going to be pressure on your shoulders to stat well and to win games. There's not much stability in this career. Because like I said, if you don't do what you need to do, if you're not playing well, and also if you're not winning, you're easily replaceable. That's the last thing that you want to think about overseas basketball. Like, oh, I had a few bad games, so I'm good. I don't have to worry about nothing. No, like, you know, the objective is higher than you. So the team, they want to do their best to win games. So if that means replacing you with somebody else who can come in and fill that role, they will do that. So you never want to forget that you are easily replaceable. The last negative that I have, and I've heard countless stories about it, is that you can get paid late, or sometimes you may not even get paid at all. It just depends on where you're at I've been in a situation where I didn't have to worry about late payments or not getting paid at all. And let me just knock on wood. But that's just like the harsh reality of playing overseas basketball. Like, I had a homeboy who was playing basketball, and he was in this country for about like 2.5, 3 months. He didn't get paid the entire time he was there, so he just decided to be like, yo, I'm calling it quits. I'm going back to the crib because I gotta make some money. And that's what they don't tell you. So you heard that from somebody who's been in the game for 2 years now, and who's heard stories and who's actually lived through some of these situations. But now it's on to the happy and the positive stuff, the things that y'all have heard about. So first and foremost, like, the main thing that you can take away from playing overseas basketball is that you have a great opportunity to travel the world and experience other cultures for little to no money. How cool is this? Like, you've been playing a sport that you love all your life. You get to this point where you can be professional and get paid to play the sport that you love in a different country. Like, yo, it's a blessing in itself. Last year I was in Sweden. That was my first time going to Europe, and I was in awe, bro. Like, I got a chance to travel to all the different cities throughout the country. And Stockholm is the capital of the city. I went there probably about at least 5 times, and every single time I went there, I enjoyed it so much. And I got a chance to see so much stuff. I got a chance to see architecture that were hundreds of years old. I got a chance to experience the Swedish culture. Like, I got a chance to experience their food. I learned a little bit of the language. And even not even just Sweden, like, I got a chance to travel to Norway, which was a neighboring country of Sweden. And now I'm in Romania, bro. So I'm doing all of this while playing the sport that I love, and I'm taking full advantage of it. And when I say that you can travel to certain places for free, you can stay in hotels for free, or even get free flights, let me put you on a little bit of game real quick. Get you a travel credit card, bro, and put all of your necessary expenses on that card. What they do is that they reward you for spending on this card. If I spend X amount of dollars on my Chase card, Chase will give me 75,000 membership points. These points can be converted to flights, hotels, or different gifts or items that you want. You're spending money that you're already gonna spend anyway. You might as well just put it on a credit card and just pay the balance off in full every month. Obviously, you have to be responsible while you're doing this because it's not your money. Like, the bank is lending you money, but they're giving you a lot of perks while you use this card. And I have a travel credit card right now, and I've been taking full advantage of it. Like, right now I already have like 100,000 points for one of my cards, and that's enough for like 2 free flights, a few nights in a hotel, all for free just by spending on that card. And I'm gonna add the referral links for the travel credit cards that I use down in the description. So if you wanna go ahead and start travel hacking with me while you're overseas, go ahead down there and click them links. Another positive of playing overseas basketball is that you have a tremendous opportunity to set yourself up for the future. And by setting yourself up for the future, I mean this. Majority of the places you go where you play overseas basketball, 2 things are going to be taken care of, which is your housing or your food. With your food, they give you 2 meals a day or 1 meal a day. The only other time you'll need to spend money is on travel and experience or anything else that you want to spend it on. Not having to pay rent or worry about 3 meals a day saves you a ton of money, especially in today's time where inflation is super high and the housing cost is high. Like, you have the opportunity to really build yourself up. And for most people who play overseas basketball that are American, I would just assume that they went to Division I school and they went on a full scholarship so they didn't have to pay for college. They're gonna have little to no student loans at all, nor any debt. So if you don't have any debt, you don't have to pay any rent or pay much money for your food. That gives you a lot of money that you can save for, a house, or you can save for vacations if you want to travel, or if you want to fund like a Roth IRA, like an investment account for the future. Like, you have the ability to do all of this stuff while you don't have to pay for the necessary living expenses. I would encourage anybody who is in this position that is playing overseas basketball to fully take advantage of your future because, you know, once the ball stops bouncing, you want to have something to fall back on where you're comfortable. Like, you don't want to spend all of your money and then once you're done playing, not have any money to take care of yourselves. You know, like I mentioned before, this was in the negative section. This can also be a positive because you're gonna have a lot of free time. You probably train for at least between 4 to 6 hours every single day. That's gonna leave you with at least 18 hours to figure out what you're gonna do for the rest of this time. This can be another great time for you to learn the skill and to create another income stream. You can build a foundation while you're playing basketball, and, you know, once you're ready to walk away from the game or once the off season hits, this gives you the opportunity to use that foundation and use it to your advantage by having another stream of income. Another gem that I want y'all to take from this is that while you're playing basketball overseas, you can build so many lifelong connections and friendships just by being a great person. One thing that I learned while playing overseas basketball is that your teammates or coaches who are from the country that you're playing in, they love it if you are a great person and embrace their culture. And let me tell you why. By embracing their culture, that just tells them all they need to know about your type of character. Because by you just going out of your way to, you know, try some of their traditional food, or by you learning their language, they will really appreciate that, and I'm sure it will make your overseas experience so much better since you're by yourself and away from your family. Like, you're gonna build another family away from home in every single different country that you go to, if you understand what I'm saying. You can never have too many friendships, you can never have too many connections, because you never know. Like, you may think the basketball world is huge, but one thing that you learn as you continue to move up the ranks, you're gonna know somebody who knows somebody. And no matter where you're at, you know, I have friends from all over the world. Like, I have friends in Sweden, I have friends in Romania, I have friends in France, I have friends in Australia. All because I was a good person and I played basketball and just like embraced the culture. I wasn't an asshole to really anybody. You know, I cannot stress this enough. Really take advantage of traveling while you can and embracing the culture that you're in, because it's gonna really broaden your perspective on the world. You know, being American, we have this perspective that America is the greatest country in the world and we do everything the right way, and all the other countries, that they don't follow suit. Like, that's far from the truth. Like, I've been to 3 different countries. You know, it gives you a perspective like, yo, maybe I was doing things wrong before, but now, since I experienced different countries and different cultures, I can kind of take pieces from each place and apply it to myself on how I want to live my life and how I see the world. Because you have to realize, like, things can always be worse. Because a lot of the issues that I have that I feel like are extremely drastic aren't really as big as I make them out to be. And I experienced this because I got a chance to see how life is in certain countries. Like, I'm just grateful that I can be in this position to play the game that I love and get paid for it. You know, I could be in a situation right now where I'm homeless. Like, I could be in a situation where I don't know where my next meal is coming from. Like, I don't have the finances. Like, I'm having family issues. Like, I just have to realize that I'm blessed, and there are thousands of people who would love to be in my position right now. Even if I think I shouldn't be here and I should be at a higher spot, like, it's all a part of the journey, and you have to just be grateful for whatever part of the journey that you're in right now, because things can always be better, but things can also be a lot worse. And just by having that mindset and having that perspective, it's really gonna help you as a person in the long run. And don't get me wrong, like, there are a lot of things that I wish I wouldn't have to worry about, such as missing important events to me, like missing my friends and family. But I feel like, you know, for me in my situation, there's a lot of positives that outweigh a lot of the negatives. You know, overseas ball is not for everybody. Like, you may sign a contract, experience it for a month or 2, or even like the full year. You may come to a realization that, you know, this life isn't really for me. I miss my friends and family back home. Like, I miss all of these events. At least you tried it and got to experience it for yourself, experience a different culture and different traditions, but it just didn't work out. So like I said, for anybody who is pursuing this career path, if you're in high school right now, if you're in college and you know that the NBA is out of reach, and you want to pursue overseas basketball, really weigh the pros and cons, because it is not for everybody. And if you stay down and believe in yourself and keep getting better year after year, help the club win games, and I promise you, you're going to see the fruits of your labor, because you have to start your way off at the bottom and work your way to the top. There's plenty of people who have done it and are living well right now. That's all I got for y'all today. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tapping in. And if you enjoyed the content, if you learned something new, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the boy down low, because I'm going to be dropping a lot of fire. So thank y'all for watching and tapping in. Until next time, Juan out of here. Peace.